starting with my old life, I was working for the critical infrastructure utility industry in Austria as CIO. I was responsible also for the security part in that area. And meanwhile, besides working within Comparo for this solutions, I'm also working with an association internationally, but specifically in the German countries, a CIO community, where we have all those topics, and their cybersecurity is, of course, also a very important topic. And the idea really was to have an end-to-end solution, starting from what are the regulations, what are the laws which are important, what are the best practices, and really achieve a complete management model to enable people to manage cybersecurity from a strategic point of view. Security nowadays got not just on the list of every CEO, that everybody has to take it serious since many years. It's specifically more and more complex to have an oversight on this topic on different levels. So you need a strategic overview on the topic. What are the threats and the risks for your specific company? What are the standards and regulations which are affecting your business? Which risks do you want to mitigate? And finally, of course, which processes, tools, organizational topics you should have in place in your company. From the company-specific side, we have a look what data is existing in the company. And we only take the information from those specific tools which are important for our model if we want to do so. So we are flexible in that way as well. But if a company, for example, has not identified the critical assets so far, we have just a few where we start to identify the critical assets directly within the OPSAM model. Let's start, for example, with risk management. We go into risk management, and then, of course, you have a process how to manage and how to evaluate the risks in a company. So first of all, you have to say which risks, for example, are you facing, and here you see already the catalogs we have behind. And as a company, you would then just select those things and say, this is applicable for us, this is applicable for us, and this is applicable for us. There's a second catalog, so we have no problem to have many international catalogs behind. So I go to the manage information security, and then you just click through those different views, and from there on, you're really choosing what is applicable again to your company. And so finally, you end up all those views. You can, of course, in the customization process, decide which views are important for you to worry about, the management components. And basically, those are the things you have available to manage that area. So you can start, for example, with all components. And now you get this best practice view where you say, okay, what can I do in that area and that area? So what can I do in the tool category area? What can I do in the guidance area? In the information area, process area, and so on. And then you just go through the different view angles where you then connect those things. And for example, now start selecting which tools are the highest priority, what are with people with medium priority, and so on. So on all these management components, you select now what is important for your company. And finally, let's say, get to the action area where you really then define where are you today. Yeah. We approached, let's say, several communities. So, for example, the Austrian cybersecurity platform has developed together with the government in Austria, let's say, the security strategy framework for Austria. And we proposed to them that a simpler model than the one you saw can be used as a knowledge sharing model. So that means it contains only parts of that model. What are the most important risks? What are the most important things? And we will share there for example, the knowledge which is existing, of course, in every country, but normally it's spread across many different web pages. Yeah, so there's a web page from the government, there's a web page from the cybersecurity platform, there's a web page from the embassies, and so on and so on. And we collected the information which is publicly available and make this with a simpler model available, let's say, to the cyber community in Austria. That will go live in autumn this year. So we are already selected to help them on that.